Have you ever questioned the probability of your existence in this vast universe? It's a thought that can be as humbling as it is overwhelming. Let's delve into this for a moment. Think about it. The odds against our existence are astronomical. The chances of the right sperm meeting the right egg, of your parents meeting each other, of their parents meeting, and so on, back through the generations. The likelihood of all these events culminating in you, here and now, is near to zero. Yet, here you are, a product of an unbroken chain of improbable events. Now this is where we stumble upon the concept of life's absurdity. The fact that we exist despite the odds against us is absurd. And yet, it is this very absurdity that makes life fascinating and rich. Consider your daily experiences. The simple act of making a cup of coffee, for instance, is laden with improbable events. The beans for your coffee had to be grown in specific conditions, harvested, roasted, and transported to your location. The water you use had to cycle through nature's complex system before it reached your tap. Even the mug you drink from is a product of numerous processes and human efforts. All these mundane experiences, which we often take for granted, contribute to the complexity and richness of life. They are tiny threads in the intricate tapestry of our existence. But let's pause here. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the absurdity of life. It's easy to feel small and insignificant in the face of such improbability, yet it's crucial to remember that this absurdity is not a cause for despair. Quite the contrary, the improbability of our existence is a cause for celebration. It is a testament to our resilience, to our determination, to the sheer power of life itself. It's a reminder that even in the face of the impossible, life finds a way. The absurdity of life then is not something to be feared, but rather a reminder of the amazing improbability of our existence. So the next time you feel lost or confused, take a moment to marvel at the wonder of your existence. Embrace the absurdity. After all, it's what makes life so wonderfully unpredictable and endlessly fascinating. What is the likelihood of you waking up tomorrow and experiencing something entirely new? Well, let's delve into the fascinating world of probabilities to find out. At its core, probability is the mathematical language of uncertainty. It's a way of expressing the likelihood that a certain event will happen, from the flip of a coin landing heads or tails, to the chance of rain on your summer picnic. Every day, we navigate through life using probabilities, often without even realizing it. When you decide to carry an umbrella, you're accounting for the probability of rain. When you choose to take a different route to work to avoid traffic, you're considering the probability of congestion on your usual route. But probabilities aren't just about mundane decisions. They play a crucial role in shaping our experiences and the choices we make. Let's take an example. Imagine you're deciding whether to go to a party. You weigh the probability of having a good time against the probability of feeling awkward or out of place. Your decision is ultimately based on these probabilities. Probabilities also make life exciting and unpredictable. They inject a dose of randomness into our lives, making every day distinct from the last. Because probabilities are never absolute, they're always somewhere between 0 and 1, there's always a chance for something unexpected to happen. For instance, the probability of winning the lottery is minuscule, but it doesn't stop millions from buying tickets each week. Because despite the odds, there's still a chance. That's the beauty of probabilities. They make room for hope and surprise in our lives. Life is filled with infinite possibilities, each with its own probability. Every decision we make, every path we choose, is influenced by these hidden probabilities. The nature of probabilities is such that even the most unlikely events can still occur, making every day a potential adventure. Remember, probabilities don't dictate our lives, they merely provide a framework for understanding the world. The rest is up to us. Opening. How do you decide what to do when you have a multitude of choices? The decision-making process is a complex one, often described as a dance between logic and intuition, fact and feeling. It's an art form, a science, and sometimes it feels like a roll of the dice. And when probabilities are involved, things can get even more complicated. Imagine you're at a crossroads with 5 different paths stretching out before you. Each path represents a different choice. You could take the well-worn path, the one you've walked many times before. It's familiar, comfortable, but perhaps not so thrilling. Or you might decide to venture down the one barely trodden with its allure of mystery and promise of adventure. It's riskier, sure, but the potential rewards could be greater. Then there's the middle path, the balance between risk and reward. It's the sensible choice, the one that seems to offer the best of both worlds. But how do you decide which path to take? You weigh up the probabilities, you consider the potential consequences, the potential rewards, the potential risks. You factor in your own personal preferences, your values, your past experiences. Yet, even with all this information, the decision isn't always clear-cut, because life isn't a neatly ordered set of probabilities. It's messy and unpredictable. And sometimes the path you choose doesn't lead where you thought it would, but that's okay, because every decision, every choice, every path taken or not taken shapes us. It informs our experiences, our perspectives, our understanding of the world. It's like weaving a tapestry. Each thread represents a choice, a decision. Some threads are bright and bold, others are subtle and understated, but each one contributes to the overall design, the intricate pattern that is uniquely ours. So, when faced with a multitude of choices, remember that there is no right or wrong path. There's only your path, the one you create through your decisions, your choices. Closing. Our decisions, shaped by probabilities, create a unique narrative for our lives. Why are some days filled with excitement while others seem utterly mundane? Have you ever pondered this question? It's the paradox of interesting versus uninteresting days, a conundrum that we all face in our lives. Let's take a moment to explore this further. Picture a day in your life. Maybe it's a Tuesday, maybe it's a Friday. The sun rises, the world wakes up, and you embark on your daily routine. On the surface, it seems like any other day. But what if you looked a little closer? Every day is filled with countless small moments, each with the potential to be extraordinary. The way the morning light filters through your window, the smell of coffee brewing, the sound of your favorite song on the radio, these are not grand, life-altering events, but they hold a certain magic in their own right. In contrast, consider a day filled with thrilling adventures or unexpected surprises. While these days are undeniably exciting, they also come with their own set of challenges. The rush of adrenaline can be exhausting, the unexpected can be unsettling, and yet we often crave these days for their departure from the everyday. Herein lies the paradox. We long for the extraordinary, yet find comfort in the ordinary. We yearn for excitement, yet appreciate the tranquility of routine. So, what makes a day interesting or uninteresting? Is it the events that unfold, or is it our perception of them? The truth is, it's both. It's the interplay of external events and our internal response. It's the dance between the world around us and the world within us. It's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. It's about opening our eyes to the beauty of everyday life and embracing the unexpected. It's about realizing that every moment holds the potential for wonder, if only we choose to see it. So, the next time you find yourself yearning for an interesting day, remember this. Every day holds its own charm, its own story. It's all a matter of perspective. Have you ever questioned why we do the things we do simply because it's tradition? Tradition. It's a powerful word, isn't it? It summons images of grand feasts, elaborate ceremonies, and generations of families passing down wisdom and customs. Cultural practices and beliefs play a crucial role in shaping our daily experiences and decisions. They provide us with a sense of identity, a feeling of belonging, and a roadmap for navigating the world. But let's talk about the flip side for a moment. These practices can sometimes act as invisible barriers, limiting our perspective and influencing our decisions in ways we may not even realize. It's like wearing a pair of tinted glasses. Every scene we encounter is colored by the hue of our cultural background. Take, for instance, the tradition of eating with our hands in certain cultures. It's seen as a connection to the earth, a way of bonding with the food that nourishes us. But in other societies, this very practice might be viewed as uncouth or unsanitary. The same action, perceived differently, based on the lens of cultural practices and beliefs. Or consider the concept of arranged marriages, prevalent in some societies. It's a tradition deeply rooted in family values and societal structures. Yet, for those from cultures where love marriages are the norm, the idea might seem restrictive and outdated. Again, the same institution of marriage understood differently through the prism of cultural norms. Our cultural practices and beliefs, though enriching and comforting, can sometimes influence us to make decisions that may not necessarily align with our personal values or aspirations. They can subtly dictate what we should value, how we should behave, or what decisions we should make. But here's the kicker. We have the power to question, to understand, and to decide for ourselves. To critically evaluate our cultural practices and beliefs and their impact on our lives. To make choices that resonate with our inner selves rather than simply conforming to societal expectations. To question is to understand, and to understand is to make more informed decisions about our lives.